And what's worse, she is so lacking in self-awareness that she doesn't even understand why what she's saying is absurd. But clearly proud of her performance, she made a follow-up video.
And then today, her first day as comms director is Daisy Duke's day. Yeah, that guy. It's not the first time I've ever used language with people before, and it certainly won't be the last. You don't have the right to harass me. It's not ever going to be okay. And if you want to get in my face, expect it right back, and I will record you, and I will make you famous.
Yeah, Nancy, I don't think that your video did what you think it did. Mace thinks that she made him, quote, famous, as if he did something wrong. He asked when her town hall was. She started screaming fuck you at him in a beauty store. You didn't make him famous. You showed the internet that you are unstable and desperate for attention, which is clearly evidenced by the fact that that video was then followed up, of course, by a Fox News hit, because why not squeeze every ounce of juice from this entirely unremarkable moment?
This guy approached me, and I will tell you, I felt threatened, I felt harassed, and I will tell you, as someone who's experienced trauma in her life, and a lot of women will understand what I'm talking about, when some guy gets in your face and approaches you in the aggressive manner that he did, and you feel like you're in danger, instinctively, as women who've been through trauma, who've survived sexual assault, survived domestic abuse, you have two options. You can fight or you can flee. And Sean, I'm a fighter.
And now we've all witnessed Nancy Mace in her full form, fetal position victimhood. Now, you've all watched all three videos here, and you can actually see the progression where Nancy Mace goes from lunatic aggressor to full-blown victim over the course of, 48 hours that these videos were posted? All because she has convinced herself that she's the victim, and so she's manifesting it into reality. But there's something else that I wanted to touch on, and it's a common refrain for Mace. She pretends here that she felt harassed or threatened by a man, even exploiting her past as a sexual assault victim, which I would have sympathy for if her entire identity wasn't predicated on her support for Donald Trump, whom a judge stated raped Jean Carroll. He's been credibly accused of sexual assault by more than 24 women. You don't really have a leg to stand on by crying victim when everything you do is in the name of a known and credibly accused victimizer. In fact, that's a point that I brought up during an appearance on Piers Morgan's show. Look, going back to Nancy Mace, she explains on a weekly basis how she was the victim of sexual assault, including in this very previous segment with you. And yet, and to that point, I feel for her, and I think that's absolutely also awful. But she also breathlessly supports somebody like Donald Trump, who is an adjudicated rapist and who was credibly accused of sexual assault by 26 different women. So the cognitive dissonance at play here, first of all, is incredible. But second of all, just with regard to Nancy Mace, with regard to Donald Trump, we know why they're doing this. Nancy Mace is not afraid of Sarah McBride chasing her into the bathroom. She's not. She wants to fundraise off this. She wants to be social media famous. She wants to be... Nancy Mace has more ambition to be famous online than every single member of Jersey Shore.
Doesn't mean she's wrong.
And finally, let's be clear about something. Lest you think that Nancy Mace is acting in good faith, ever, she's not. Her entire MO in Congress is to whip up pretend controversies and hysteria that she can then leverage for attention or money. She is the physical manifestation of the worst of our attention economy. And look, I understand the first question here might be, if Nancy Mace is so desperate for attention, why give it to her by doing a video on exactly what she's doing? Isn't that exactly what she is looking for? And the reality is that Nancy Mace serves as the perfect microcosm for the rot that has pervaded today's GOP. This is what you get from the Republican Party. Theatrics intended for clicks and money. That's the entire incentive structure on the right. And while that stuff might work for the minority, while Republicans don't expect to pass any legislation, hopefully this exposes the reality to Americans that this GOP is not interested in governing. It is only interested in squeezing every last dime out of their base. Nancy Mace is a testament to exactly that. Before you go, if you enjoyed this content and you want to see more and support independent media, please subscribe to this channel. The subscribe button will be right here on the screen. But second, the reality is that we are now in a political environment where this administration can lean on any of the social media platforms to suppress certain voices if they don't like critical coverage. That means my longevity here is in the hands of a few tech billionaires who are already making it clear that they are willing to cater to this administration. To that end, Signing up for my newsletter is a way for me to reach you directly if that ever becomes necessary. I'll put the link right here on the screen as well, so please sign up. It's free, but there's also an option to do a paid subscription if you'd like to support me and my team. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching.